What's going on, fellow A-plusers? It is I, your Morphinominal host, Adam Perez, back once again with a brand new video for you guys today. As we're not only going to get into your live viewer questions that you guys had for A-plus Morphinominal this past weekend, which you did not get the opportunity to dive into, but not only are we going to do live viewer questions, we're also going to be talking very briefly in regards to the brand new Donbrothers promo trailer that we wind up getting here this past week, ladies and gentlemen, as we inch ever so closely to the amazing Toei press conference that we're supposed to be getting for the Donbrothers here, which I'm probably expecting maybe even full trailer when we get maybe a good 1.5, 2 minute trailer. I'm keeping my fingers crossed at least, with some great new insights, hopefully an introduction to the cast, a better understanding as to some of these characters and descriptions, and maybe synopsis and plot details. So I'm really looking forward to this press conference for Donbrothers. And once that drops, once we have a bunch of information, guys, you better believe we'll be coming to you guys with a video to certainly go ahead and talk about all of it. But before we even get to that press conference, Toei was very nice to go ahead and actually reveal to us a promo teaser for the upcoming Donbrothers series. Guys, if you have not had the opportunity to check it out, I'll go ahead and put a link in the description box below for you guys to certainly do so. And I'm really liking what I'm seeing so far, man. Getting an opportunity to see Don Momotaro at the forefront. I'm really even loving the idea that he's got like this fan that he whips out sort of thing. I'm really liking sort of the gravitas that he brings when he's certainly on screen. Very much like it feels like he's in control, like he's used to being a leader. I love the way that he speaks, and it should be interesting to see how far, like, as a leader he is when it comes to his actual team itself. The aesthetics of this series look pretty good to me. I really love the costume designs that we've seen so far. We've had brief glimpses in this trailer of all the individual characters. The physical characters still looking a little bit better than the CGI characters to me. Again, it was definitely my aspect of worry going into Donbrothers, and it feels like I still should have that worry going into this series. We see them briefly as a team. I'm assuming maybe after they've done their roll call, their posing and stuff. When you see the pose as a team, you can see clearly the CGI characters separated vastly from the actual physical characters themselves. I am going to be curious to see what it looks like in the actual series. How close are they? What's the shadows looking like? Does it look like these characters belong there, or do they truly feel like they've just been, pasted onto the screen sort of thing? You know what I mean? So I will be curious to see what it looks like. It looks okay, but I feel like I am still very worried in regards to it. Outside of that, again, I think I am curious if that is their roll call after they've henshined in the sequence for the promo trailer there. When you see Don Momotaro, like he's got some people that are holding him up on this platform sort of thing. Like, is that the type of like grandiose roll call that we're going to get every single episode, or is this sort of like just for the very first episode sort of thing, right? So I'm going to be interested to see what the henshin sequence is like, but I dug it. I love like the glitter, the confetti, if you will, kind of falling down sort of thing. It definitely gives very much that like Japanese folklore tale or like festival or celebration sort of vibe. So it definitely feels as though this Reiwa era show is definitely tapping into its roots for sure. But I love the costume designs. Even love like Oni's sisters like using her fingers to replicate the little spikes on her helmet and stuff like that. Getting the opportunity to see the bike in action. The bike also composed with Jurin to go ahead and give us the main mech in here. Getting an opportunity to see what that's going to look like in battle. Looks pretty good. Saw it like breaking through a wall or something like that. It even did its best like Masters of the Universe impression, throwing up its sword and the electricity kind of coming to it. So Zord wise, looking pretty good so far. Don Momotaro looks fantastic with that metallic pink peach on his forehead sort of thing. I'm loving what I'm seeing so far. Again, brief teaser, only like 10-15 seconds or so. I believe even depending on what trailer you're watching, the one that I will put down below is English sub for you guys. So you can understand exactly what he's saying. But there is also another trailer without English sub that has like a little extra part of Don Momotaro towards the end talking to the audience and things like that. So definitely go ahead and certainly check it out for yourself, and definitely let me know your thoughts in the live chat or the comment section box below. But this little promo definitely got me excited. Getting to see the little fight sequence we had of Damo Motar hitting somebody like with the back elbow, and then him ducking underneath the sword. The costumes, especially when it comes to the villains, which look like they might be Yukai, like Yukai warriors or something like that. I definitely think I'm gonna be here for the aesthetics and the type of tone and themes and things like that they bring this season. So piques my interest even more. But I definitely want to know your thoughts, guys. What did you think about the little short promo trailer that we wind up getting? Does it build up your anticipation? Does seeing the CGI characters make you a little bit wary? Definitely go ahead and let me know your guys' thoughts in the live chat or the comment section box below after this video airs. And since, guys, we didn't get the opportunity to go ahead and talk about the live viewer questions or talk about A+ Morphinominal this week. This weekend has just been relatively busy. I literally just finished wrapping up the live show of A+ Hero Report and thought to myself, I had a few minutes. Let me go ahead and sit back with you guys and talk about some Power Ranger stuff. And so I was just really thrilled at the idea that we got some new stuff here from Tokusatsu with the Donbrothers trailer. So personally, I just thought to myself, with a brand new trailer that we wind up getting, why not just attach live viewer questions to it also, ladies and gentlemen? So let's go ahead and dive into some of your guys' questions here for the week. Good old Jessica Friedman certainly coming through today. Which older Super Sentai would you like to become Power Rangers one day? Oh man, I can't remember if I can't remember if I answered that last time or not. But if I had to choose, maybe Jetman. I would love to see Jetman actually become an actual group. Let's see here. Live viewer questions from AJ. Actually, let me just double check and make sure AJ didn't send double questions, because sometimes he likes to send those updates. Not really a question, but I read a cool interview with the iconic Tessa Rao. Here's a link if you'd like to check it out while live. Well, thank you very much for the link. Maybe I'll go ahead and check it out for next week's episode. Like David Ramsey doing cameos as John Diggle in the Arrowverse as of recent, are you glad that for Dino Fury we're getting past Ranger actors return to drop some knowledge, considering we can't really have team-ups due to COVID? What do you want to see with Commander Shaw when she does return for season 2 of Dino Fury? I feel like we probably could have more past actors return, but with COVID, the pandemic, union, and all that good stuff, being out filming all the way in New Zealand, that type of stuff becomes pretty difficult. As far as what I want to see from Commander Shaw, just that badassery that she brought from Beast Morphers. If she wants to bring the double pistols, the double guns with her, I would absolutely love that. But I do like the idea of seeing returning actors, even if they aren't Power Rangers. Just the idea of like seeing Kelson come back. I absolutely love little things like that. Getting the opportunity to see Siobhan come back, because I believe Siobhan also was in Power Rangers before, even doing her Dr. Akana stuff. But I do enjoy that type of stuff. So for me, I just want to see Commander Shaw play an integral part, not just a quick cameo and 2-minute screen time. I would like to see Commander Shaw actually have a part of the story, right? Like the corporal, or was it the guy from RPM that we were expecting a cameo from all season when it comes to Beast Morphers? We've literally waited all season for this guy to have a cameo, and we're thinking to ourselves, like, where's he going to fit in? And he literally fit in as like an epilogue scene or like a post-credit scene to Beast Morphers, getting an opportunity to have a conversation with Devin face to face, right? So I wanted a little bit more than that. I definitely want her to play a part of the episode itself. Speaking of who, for Commander Shaw's appearance, would it be interesting if Slither actually disguised himself as Shaw in order to get intel on the Rangers, or perhaps Dino Fury Rangers themselves use the Cosmic Dino Key and go to Coral Harbor and they run into the Commander? I'd rather it be that way instead of Slither being in disguise. I really would like to see that connection to Coral Harbor. Do you find it super cool and sick when we get exclusive weapons in Power Rangers that were never in Super Sentai, along with exclusive Rangers? What disadvantages you see when you use exclusive weapons? I always think that's always an advantage when you use exclusive weapons. It just allows for more original storytelling and more original footage, personally. But I do find it pretty cool and sick when we do get ourselves exclusive weapons, like just getting an opportunity to see the Fury mode from Beast Morphers that they created for Devin with the fucking claws, sick. That was sick. I love that. I love that design. But nothing as sick as that Max Real Soul Red that we're about to get for Zato here this season. Gabriel, I will get to your RPM interview. I know we didn't do A+ Morphinominal, but I'm going to save that email and AJ's email with that link to Tessa Rao interview. I definitely want to give that a good read. But in the meantime, Gabriel, you do have 3 questions here. If we were to get a new traditional Power Rangers season next year after Dino Fury with a Zoologer, do you think it will feel unnecessary or good to have a season to hold us over until we get the Hasbro Reimagined Universe on Netflix? Or would you like we get a year off after Dino Fury, similar to how Power Rangers RPM took a year off? A year hiatus after its completion. I probably would go the latter, in the sense that I would probably go the year off, personally. That's just me. I don't mind the idea of Zoologer being adapted if that's the route they decide to go, especially if it's a holdover. My only request would be, if you are going to do Zoologer, please bring Simon Bennett back. Because then I feel like it's not just a season that we're just doing to hold us over, but I know somebody like Simon Bennett will do his damnedest to at least make it fit into the continuity of Power Rangers that we have now, right? Like, he's done such great work in continuing to build the lore and connect the lore of Power Rangers over the past 2 seasons with Beast Morphers and Dino Fury. If he can do the same thing with a Zoologer adaptation, then I would be there for it. If you told me Simon Bennett's coming back to do Zoologer, then I have no problem with it whatsoever, because I know he's going to treat that season as a great season. But I personally wouldn't mind the idea of a year off of Power Rangers, so that's probably where I would go. Do you think because of the amazing Dino Fury has been so far, fans wouldn't mind waiting a year since it's on Netflix anyway? I think regardless, some fans will complain about waiting for whatever's new to certainly come, but I do think the idea of the previous season being available for you to watch whenever you want to, yeah, I think fans would be okay with that, especially if they know that something is certainly coming next year. I think they would hold themselves over. I think they'll be all right. Do you wish Power Ranger Samurai had done more with Lauren as our first female good Ranger, Red Ranger? Yes, I do. I know the show followed Shin Kinger, so it was possible, but it wasn't possible, but I would love if we got more story with Lauren. She's so much a better leader than Jaden was. I do feel like it was a missed opportunity to explore Lauren a little bit more, but you're right. I mean, since Shin Kinger very much was a copy-paste season of Shin Kinger, they were literally only doing the Shin Kinger storyline almost, it felt like, even the same, capturing the same scenes and stuff. I think had we had somebody more original helming Power Rangers during that time, they probably would have given Lauren a little bit more screen time. And it's one of those things where, like, even to this day, I still want to see more Lauren in Power Rangers. I think the comic books did a great job, especially at least Shattered Grid, of introducing her as a prominent figure and utilizing her. And I wish we could do that a little bit more in live action form. It's, for me, like, I compliment Toei all the time and being creative enough to think outside the box, outside of just series, giving us mini series, giving us little episodes here or there, right? The Toei Tokusatsu fan club does great things like that, little specials. I would love like a 2 or 3 parter of Lauren. If Hasbro really wanted to think outside the box, give us some spin-off of some past series of characters that really intrigued or like were fan favorites. That's the type of stuff I would definitely go for. So yeah, if Hasbro wants to give me a 3-episode miniseries of Lauren, I'm cool with it. Do you think Power Rangers and Super Sentai have been lighthearted series for a long while, and would you like to see a return to a darker tone series? If you had to choose, which did you enjoy most of 2021, Dino Fury or Zenkaiger? How confident are you about Donbrothers bringing back characters and a similar tone? Out of the 2 series, Dino Fury has been more consistent for me personally. And I do think Super Sentai and Power Rangers have been a little bit more lighthearted. I feel like for me, the darker tone series probably ended with like Go Kaiger, Go Busters, and then kind of lightened itself up a little bit more as it went along. Even though Tokuger, I probably put Tokuger in there. That might have been like the last series that I can recall. I feel like the Reiwa era has really become a lot more lighthearted, appealing more to kids. You know, Donbrothers, Zenkaigers, them being vastly different. Major clearly lighthearted. But even with Major being a lighthearted season, I did think that they had some darker undertones, you know, some really mature storylines for people like Garza and Takamichi and Mabushina to really sink their teeth into, while allowing the rest of the Rangers to really have the more lighthearted stuff. Major to me was just a really perfect balance that I really enjoy out of Super Sentai, honestly, whereas Zenkaiger's been pretty lighthearted. So I do feel like over the years it's gotten lighter, and I don't mind lightheartedness as long as, you know, and I say this all the time, balance, you know? Balance. If you can have some lightheartedness but still take yourself seriously and have those darker tones in there somewhere where you see, wow, this is a pretty heavy storyline, like I'm a sucker for that type of stuff. But I feel like Super Sentai has lost that in a while, but Major felt like that perfect balance for me. But yeah, when it comes to Power Rangers, it's been light for a minute. And how confident am I that Donbrothers will bring back characters in a similar tone? I feel kind of confident. I feel like the introduction of like the Yukai, but also, you know, that definitely brings like the idea of demons and stuff. There's got to be some sort of darker tones involved, but I think the idea of a Japanese folklore or fairy tale, at least with Momotaro, will definitely bring in the lightheartedness. So again, I'm hoping for balance. I'm hoping for balance. Adrian, got a couple questions. Adrian Perez says, hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. I have some great news. My wife and I, small business, Open Up in Cafe, has been approved for later of next month, which is in March. We're very excited, and we'll start packing for our move. We do have a home in Sydney that we've had for a little while. Well, I remember you mentioned that last time, but congrats, man, once again on the big move, and that's cool that it finally got approved for you. So it looks like all the wheels are in motion, man. Keeping my fingers crossed that the move goes smoothly. What do you think of the newest Sentai series Donbrothers having CGI characters, especially the Black Ranger, which will be a CGI talking dog? I think he's a dog or a fox or something like that. I think he's a dog. Look, it's my biggest concern. It's my biggest worry. And it's not so much what the voice actors are going to do. I feel like the voice actors will probably really bring them to life. Maybe hopefully give them some really strong character work and storylines. But for me, it's the CGI. Like, just looking at the promo trailer, if you guys sort of check it out, you know, the close-up shots of them in the roll call, clearly you can tell that they're CGI. They look pretty good, you know, but then again, when you see it in the bigger picture and the whole team, you see how it's set up, how they have these CGI figures pretty separated from the live action elements. It's all going to be about lighting, how these characters, like, you know, interrupt the depth, or at least their depth. As far as like the realism goes, right? How do they work off of other characters? Because it has had me worried. It has had me worried. So I'm not going to say this is going to make or break the series for me, but you know, there are times when I wouldn't be surprised if it pulls me out of the episode, you know, doesn't allow me to fully enjoy it because I'm looking at the little nitpicks and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I think I'm still going to enjoy it regardless, but it is my biggest worry, and I'm hoping that when we actually get a full-on trailer, see a little bit more of this series in live action, maybe I'll have a better understanding as to what we're going to get, but it is my biggest worry. Do you feel like when it comes to Super Sentai, fans are more acceptable to things not making sense, considering Japanese culture is its own thing, whereas Power Ranger fans get upset when writers are just lazy to explain things, treating audience as imbeciles? You know, I don't know when it comes to Super Sentai. I think they are more acceptable to things not making sense, whereas I don't know if they are that way when it comes to costumes, right? Like, I feel like we will give Super Sentai a pass maybe sometimes in things not making sense, But like, the pushback against the Zenkaiger costumes, right? A lot of people were not fans. Maybe it was a little too outside the box, right? Maybe a little bit too, oh, that doesn't make sense sort of thing. I don't know how that feels. I'm not a big fan. I don't like that sort of thing. I think we're more open to giving things a pass that actually happened in the series and storyline wise than to the aesthetics and the suits themselves. But yeah, I would agree with you there. How excited were you when Hasbro announced that they purchased the rights to Power Rangers for Saban? And did you have any hopes or worry about Hasbro taking on Power Rangers, though keeping the same production crew and then 2 main writers we had since Dino Charge, as well as the show continuing being on Nickelodeon until now with Dino Fury? When it was announced, I was pretty excited and eager. More so less because the future felt brighter, yet uncertain. And yet at the same time, I kept thinking to myself, God, anything could be better than this, than what we have now, right? In regards to the Neo Saban era stuff. So it definitely gave me an influx of hope. Just seeing what Hasbro has done with their other properties. I felt like Hasbro was a really good company to pick up Power Rangers. They've got experience when it comes to toy brands. And the fact that they have been dabbling in more entertainment stuff definitely kind of gave me hope. But, I don't necessarily know if when it was announced, if I knew like, hey, the same writers were coming back, we're still sticking on Nickelodeon. Like that stuff didn't necessarily bother me, as I felt like changes were probably going to be coming. And anytime that you've got new management, changes come. They're going to put other people in place that works better with them, that feels like they can tell their story or tell what it is they want of their property to come across to people more. So I did expect some changes to definitely happen. Things certainly don't change overnight, and that's something that I am very much aware of. So I definitely had the patience to wait for Hasbro to certainly make these changes. So I felt like when it was announced, at least initially, excitement and intrigue for sure, to kind of see like, well, I wonder what's going to happen. Marcelino Vasquez has got a couple questions. A lot of fans, including myself, think that one of the few things that came out of the Ninja Steel was the arc of Robot Aiden, where brother Aiden thought he found his long-lost brother. That's right. Aiden, only to find out it was a robot in disguise. Then at the end of the arc, it was revealed that Levi was Aiden with his memories, who previously had his memories wiped. What did you think of it? I actually really enjoyed that storyline too. I actually appreciated the twist there and the reveal for Levi. I felt like, I can't remember if I thought Robot Aiden at first was a robot or something was off. Like, that's not his brother. I felt like they actually did a pretty good job with that story arc. So yeah, I would definitely give it to you. That was a positive. I don't know if we will get a Zoologia adaptation, but I have an idea of what could happen if we do. So far, the Hasbro era made it clear that they love bringing back past villains. So something that could happen is Hasbro bringing back an older villain to be the main villain or just a minor villain. I would prefer if it was a villain that never got an ending and was just forgotten about, or a bad villain everyone hates, but with better writing, they become less hated. But Hasbro would probably choose someone like Lord Zedd because he's MMPR, and it would be a 30th anniversary. Another option, which I unfortunately think Hasbro wouldn't do, could be to use Thrax, who was the main villain in Operation Overdrive 15th anniversary team up, mainly because he is literally the son of Lord Zedd and Rita Repulsa. So you got an MMPR nostalgic mix with something new. But what do you think? I kind of like both notions, but I think if anything, I think the first option that you had is probably the direction that they would probably go more, just because of the MMPR connection. Thrax and Operation Overdrive, even though Thrax is the son, I think people probably Hasbro would probably want to be more on the nose with MMPR than that. A more recognizable season that more people probably watched. So probably that. I don't know if it would be Lord Zedd. Like, I'm still up in the air as to what their plans are for Lord Zedd with them bringing him back. Whether or not he's going to be defeated in Dino Fury Season 2, if he's going to manage to escape and become a villain for the 30th anniversary. I'm open to either option, honestly. But I like your first option better, Marcelino, for sure. Let's see here. L'Oreal's got a couple questions. She says, if you were to redo the legendary war from Super Mega Force, how would you do it? More original footage. More original footage with the people that we actually brought back. You know, I probably would have extended the episode an extra 15 minutes or so. And maybe not even an extra 15 minutes. Hell, maybe an extra 10 minutes. But that 10 minutes would be original fight footage of these Rangers coming back, having some sort of impact, not a slow motion superhero action walk, taking off our helmet. We're here to help you. Helmets back on. Never see them again. Helmets off. It was great to help you. Adios. Bye. And then they're gone. Like, what was that? Like, what? We didn't see you do anything like in your return outside of footage that we've already seen before, guys. So that's probably what I would do. Extra 10-15 minutes original footage with the people that we would have gone hell of a long way. Hell of a long way. Do you think Void Knight's armor is cursed like it was in Strongest Battle? Ooh. I've been flip-flopping on this. I really want it to be. I really want it to be. I want it to be a cursed armor. And in part, maybe why Zedd knows about it, right? Where did you get that armor from? Or yeah, I think he said, he doesn't say, who did you get that armor from? I think he says, where'd you get that armor from? It would be cool if for some reason, like if Zedd knows it because it's part of like Rafcon lore, you know, like this was a possessed sort of armor, if you will, or a cursed armor during the time. And the idea of somebody having possession of it, probably pretty bad, you know? So I am kind of curious. I'm hoping that it is. There's a part of me that hope. If it's not, that's cool. You know, Simon Bennett hasn't failed me yet. So I definitely trust his judgment. But part of me, I would love to see it as a cursed armor. Remember the music they had for the Karamazor Morpher? How'd it be if it was used as the Galactic Council's alarm for our Tokuger's communication? That'd be pretty cool, actually. I like that idea. For those of you who don't know, oh, sorry, swipe to open. Sorry, my phone died on me. L'Oreal's been putting together a Tokuger sort of fan fiction for quite some time. My friend and I were also thinking about having Bridge appear due to him and Katie both being the team weirdos. They get along great, but Elliot, Hikari's counterpart, gets a tad bit jealous. Ooh, drama already. Joey Thomas, what's up, Joey Thompson? Certainly coming through. Joey Thompson, best introduction to a Sixth Ranger in recent years, and which Sixth Ranger do you think made the biggest impact in Power Rangers, even beating its Sentai counterpart? Oh my God. Okay. Best introduction to a Sixth Ranger in recent years. God, it's been a minute since I kind of remember some of these Sixth Rangers reveals. Something tells me that Dino Charges was pretty cool. It's been so long since I've seen these introductions, though, for these Sixth Rangers. In recent years. And you say, which Sixth Ranger do you think had the biggest impact in Power Rangers, even beating its Super Sentai counterpart? Is that even a thing? I always did like Barracuda from Samurai, even though that was a shit season. I'm trying to figure out if he did it better than their Sentai counterpart. I feel like there's very few that do it better than their Sentai counterpart, honestly. And then again, you know, there are some seasons that I have not watched Super Sentai wise to know what the Sixth Rangers was like, right? Like Tommy's, the idea that Homeboy literally had like an actual arc for his evil Green Ranger back in MMPR. Like, I wonder what they ended up doing with the Super Sentai counterpart. I don't even know how this Super Sentai counterpart fit into things. I didn't think Trent from Dino Thunder always goes a pretty long way too. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one because it's been a while since I've seen some of these introductions in years. Why do many past Six Rangers been absent during team-ups during the classic Saban era seasons? That's a good question, man. I wonder if that has to do a lot with footage that they've used too, you know? During the classic Saban era seasons, I do wonder if that's because of just footage. You know, they were a lot more heavily dependent on footage back then, so than they were more original footage. So I think if the team up itself didn't warrant it, or if the team ups were done before the Sixth Ranger wind up getting introduced, that could be the reason. It's just footage wise. Michael Rhymes, what's up, Michael? Is it me or Super Sentai seem to be way weirder and ridiculous than Power Rangers? Even big what the F moments than the seasons of Power Rangers that were really bad. Is it me or Super Sentai seem to be way weirder and ridiculous than Power Rangers? I would agree. I think one, Super Sentai does get the opportunity to be more original. So they have more of an imagination to kind of play around with and create. Whereas Power Rangers is very much kind of just stuck in regards to adapting sort of what's given to them. So it may be harder to get a little weirder or a little more experimental or more ridiculous than Sentai. Because Sentai is really the originator of the entire series itself. So... but it does seem to be weirder and more ridiculous. But that's one of the aspects that I definitely enjoy and love about it for sure. How we have Brian Edward Hill confirmed as a writer for Hasbro's Power Ranger Netflix reboot. What other writers and directors would you like to see work on Power Rangers in the future? While this has been a topic for a long time, do you think the future of the franchise will completely change in general, like all the traditional 28 seasons after Dino Fury, when it comes to quality and advertising, etc.? So, as far as the first half of your question, what other writers and directors would I like to see work on Power Rangers? Whoever's working on Cobra Kai, I would love to see them get an opportunity. I think that would be pretty fantastic. I actually even want the director from Mulan to get involved also. Seeing that movie directing wise, maybe even the writer too. I would love to see them both, writer, director from Mulan, tackle Power Rangers. I felt like they handled a really great supporting cast really well. The action looked pretty great. Also visually, it looked pretty stunning. So Mulan, outside of Cobra Kai, Mulan would probably be my next option of writer and director. And then even the guy that did Shang-Chi, was it Dustin Daniel Cretton, I believe. I believe he's coming back for a Shang-Chi 2. I would love to see him write or direct something in Power Rangers as well. So there are plenty out there for sure. I'll have to think about it more TV side of things. But give me a while to try and figure that out. While this has been a topic for a long time, do you think the future of the franchise of Power Rangers will completely change in general when it comes to quality and advertising, etc.? Absolutely. Yeah, I truly do. I think Hasbro's really going to approach how it appeals Power Rangers to general audiences, whether that be in its advertising, its marketing. The quality, I think we'll be able to vastly tell the quality difference. I think you can see the amount of money that's going to be going into the budget itself, the attention to detail when it comes to original footage, especially the Zord battles and things like that. I think the formula is going to change in regards to how stories are going to be told. So yeah, when I say reboot, reimagining, I definitely do think it's more than just the quality and the format of the show. I definitely do think it has a lot to do with advertising and marketing and where you're placing these characters a lot. So yeah, I definitely agree with that there. All right, guys. I think other than that, I think that does it for all of our live viewer questions today, guys. So thank you very much, each and every one of you, for certainly coming through with your questions. Sorry we couldn't get to them live on A+ Morphinominal, but definitely wanted to at least put together a small little video for you guys this week to certainly hold you over until next week for sure. We should have some more information coming this week. It's been pretty light when it comes to Power Ranger news, and I've got a lot of baby duty, so getting back to Dino Fury has been a little bit of a struggle for me to actually sit down and watch episodes consecutively and stuff. So I still have plans, don't worry, before Dino Fury Season 2 drops to definitely get the second half of the awards up for you guys, so definitely look out for that in the future. But again, let me know some of your thoughts in regards to not only the Don Brothers promo trailer that we wind up getting, but even some of the live viewer questions. Definitely would love to know some of your guys' thoughts in the live chat or the comment section box below after this video airs, and we'll definitely continue to keep you updated throughout the rest of the week with fresh content, from Zenkaiger's new episode to the potential press conference if that winds up dropping before A+ Morphinominal next weekend. We'll definitely keep you updated. But until then, guys, do me a big favor as always. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep it A+. May the power protect you. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.